The Underworld Police were charged with bringing law and order to the dark underbelly of the megatropolis world of Coruscant. However, their organisation remained a mystery to much of the galaxy. But what's the story behind this brutal law enforcement agency? Well, firstly, we need to understand that the Underworld Police were almost the direct contrast to the Guardian Police who patrolled the upper levels. These were sleek, friendly droids unlike the Underworld Police, and there's a pretty good reason for this. The Underworld Police were responsible for patrolling the lower levels of Coruscant, and these were amongst the most dangerous and violent places in the entire city. Gangs, robbers, smugglers, murderers and spice dealers all called these areas home, and for this reason, regular police and droids would not last very long down here. Most people on the lower levels were incredibly poor, and therefore droids would likely be kidnapped and scrapped for parts. Now, the Underworld Police was said to be the most elite on Coruscant, undergoing special training in combat. They wore heavy metal and leather armor with goggles, protecting them against a vast array of weapons. Now, this was essential as violence against law enforcement was very common on the lower levels. Therefore, officers needed to both look and be very durable. However, this also offered the advantage of anonymity. This meant that every officer looked the same and aren't distinguishable from one another. Therefore, they can't be identified. This was particularly important as it avoided corruption. It also stopped targeted hits on problem officers. Essentially, organised crime could not identify any particular officer, which made it impossible for them to form any kind of relationship with them. The Underworld Police were equipped with heavy blaster pistols. This differs from many clone police and guardians who instead had batons and shields or stun blasters. The Underworld Police's weapons were very capable of killing people, and they often did. There was, however, an issue with the anonymity given by their armour. Since they couldn't be identified, they could basically do whatever they wanted. Overuse of force or shaking down a spice dealer was pretty easy, as they couldn't be identified by the victim. And even when complaints were made, there was little to be done. At the end of the day, they were in charge of the lower levels, far away from the nosy politicians or White Knight Jedi. They were very much in charge of policing and regulating themselves. And simply put, no one was that bothered. Most people on Coruscant didn't really think about the lower levels. For this reason, many in the underworld feared them. Many weren't even sure what they were in the armour. Most believe that they're humanoids, some think that they're droids, and some even think that they're something far more mysterious, but who knows? Now, it's important to remember that the Underworld Police did become far more powerful under Sidious's rise to power. He was likely very worried about rebellion growing in his own capital, so gave the Underworld Police more resources and bolstered their ranks with many stormtroopers. The Underworld Police under the Empire became even more of a brutal institution. They violently shut down protests and sought out and arrested potential rebel sympathizers, with little to no proof. Not only this, but they pushed imperial discrimination, as they were in charge of evicting species and peoples whom had caused problems for the Empire in the past. For example, the Mon Calamari or Alderaanians. They rounded these people up, ripped them apart from their homes and family. It's very likely that they were responsible for numerous crimes against humanity during this period. However, when the war was over, it's likely most of them got away with it. As previously stated, without any form of formal identification, they were just another officer, not an individual. But what do you think of the Underworld Police? And what do you think's under the armour? Are they humanoids, are they droids, or what other kind of theories do you guys have? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, please remember to like, share and sub as it's really appreciated and it helps the channel grow. Also don't forget to follow me on Twitter at TheLawGuy and tick the bell for regular updates. I really do hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.